Good job, buddy. P1 right there.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Final race of the season. Coming in here to Homestead for the No-Toad Racing League Gen 4 ARCA Series. This should be a very interesting race. The first race these guys will do since the iRacing update. And we'll bring one of them down here in a bit to talk about it. But the main thing the iRacing update did is cause people to look for speed throughout the race. So I'm wondering how much of an effect it had on these cars. Let's actually go ahead and pull down the professor and get his point of view on this update. What is going on, Ben?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man. So first and foremost, loading in here tonight with a pretty good lead. You pretty much all but got that championship locked up, coming in here with a 22-point lead, if I'm reading that right. So pretty much yours. All you gotta do is finish the race. But big question I got for you, man. This update we have here, how much of a difference do you think that is going to affect these cars with the speed they put down and the heat they produce in the tires?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know. I'm interested to find out, but I just think it might make us move around a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be a whole lot different in terms of how the cars handle. But on the TV product, it might actually look a little more varied. We'll see. I hope it looks more interesting than just a bottom line fest.
Now, because I haven't done a race yet since this update, when you say look for more speed, what do you mean by that? So people understand what you're talking about.
Well, when all the cars run in the same groove, it heats the track up, and eventually it gets too hot for the cars to stick. They start sliding around, so we look for cooler track, and that helps us go faster if we can find it.
All right, man. Well, first time I'm going to be watching, broadcasting, doing anything since this update has happened other than Super Speedway, so I'm really interested to see what these cars can do here. Homestead known for a multi-groove track, and hopefully you guys can put on a good show here tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if it does, because it's a lot of fun when it works.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thanks.
So yeah, Ben Nelson coming into this race with a 22-point gap over Johnny Brugg. So he pretty much solidifies his championship logging in here tonight. I'm almost positive he can go out there and finish dead last in the race and still win the championship. So season 26 champion is going to be that 79 of Benjamin Nelson as we look forward to next season. But we got qualifying and a race to go before we officially make it official. Let's go see how these guys go out here and do in qualifying as we follow along with Charles Wood is actually on board here with the number 50 Cobalt machine. And what for those of you guys watching not understand what he was talking about. So what iRacing did is they did a update. This was, I think, phase 1 of, I don't know how many they are, but they're doing it in phases of the oval refresh. I think they're doing all sorts of stuff to make oval racing more competitive and more realistic. And one of the first things they did was the geniuses they have, iRacing and producers they have, and all that stuff. They figured out a way to heat up the track in session as the race goes on. So once you get more heat in your tires and more heat on the track, the looser that groove's going to be. So more than likely, you're going to start seeing people move off the high lane. And that's when it's going to be interesting, because you're going to start seeing people move up. You know, maybe fifth place starts moving up the high lane, he starts gaining a bunch of ground, but then once first place moves up, they kind of stall out. It's going to be interesting to see how this update works. I guess tell Ben, I have yet to race or watch or do anything on a track that has that let me rephrase that is not a super speedway. All the racing I've done this week has been a super speedway, so I do not know 100% how this is going to handle. think early on, Garen Turner getting that pole position. Charles Woods, P2. Still have yet to see the fast guys go out there qualifying. I'd say that Johnny Bruggs out there qualifying. See if that's lap 1 or his out lap. I believe that is his out lap. So here comes lap 1 by the number 1. Who in the booth with me, Thomas? No one. It's just myself. It's just me, myself, and I. Why? You can join. Maybe you might have some more insight on how this update is. Johnny Bruggs on pole. Hop in a Discord and I'll drag you down, Tommy. Let's hop in any of them. The only downside, I think it would be push to talk for you. While I was looking over at the screen, Nelson actually, in that setting down machine, he's going to go pull Brugg P2, Kendall Kerr P3. Still waiting for Merritt. Merritt's out there. See what Merritt can do here. Tyler Merritt rolling through 3 and 4. Oh, stay off that wall, Tyler. Did I lose packets? Oh, no, qualifying ended. I was like, what in the world? Alright, so I believe Tyler Merritt was unable to get a lap in. Let's go over our official starting lineup here. As you see, starting off in that pole position, you'll have Benjamin Nelson outside of him. No shocker there. Johnny Brugg. Row 2, Garen Turner and Kendall Kerr. Row 3, Jeff Hollingsworth and Charles Woods. Row 4, Alex Chase and Mitchell Williams. Row 5, Daniel Williams and Josh Corner. I will say this, Mitchell and Daniel, I swear, have qualified right next to each other all season long. I don't think I've ever really called a race. They're not right by each other in the qualifying grid. Paul Creamy, Tyler Merritt, row 6. Right on field in row 7, Jimmy Emos and John Creedler. So 100 laps of racing here tonight. Not shocked he's slow. Who, Brugg or Merritt? Alrighty. So before I get to say this, because I might, I'm a very forgetful person, this is the last race of the season. So since we will not see you all again until after the New Year, wish you and all your families a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Or if you don't believe in that stuff, we'll say Happy Holidays. I'm slow with these cars. I want to say you're too slow, Corner. You seem to run in the top 8, top 7 a good majority of the time. Oh, there's Tommy. He joined. Probably if you can hear me, your mic's muted. Or your Discord's muted. There we go. Push to talk. I think. It won't unmute? Alright, give me a second. Alright, there we go. We just brightened general chat. We got it figured out. Alrighty, Nelson gonna leave the green. Brogan is outside. Final race of the season. And Nelson gonna pick up where he's been leaving off all season long in that first position. I'm really interested to see which line is gonna be more. Oh, Nelson having a little bit of bobble there in turn 1 and 2. Early mistake there by that 79 machine. I was about to say, I'm wondering what line is going to be a preferred line here early in the run. It looks like it's going to be the low line for now. See, Garen Turner. Yeah, you sent me a message about that on Screw Chiefin. I literally got it after the race, and I was like, well, whoops. So are you saying that that's all cars and all tracks? Your multi-groove tracks. Okay. I don't know. Garen Turner's doing a really good job on that outside lane as well as the 21 of Kendall Kerr. Yeah, that 15 Mopar machine, he is making the outside line work. I'm just really intrigued how this whole searching for grip is gonna work, especially at a track like this and cars like these. Ooh. Yeah, these guys still can't find a line. I've never seen people search this much in a race to start a race. You got Garen Turner running really good on the outside lane. Kendall Kerr though got a really good run coming off of turn 2. He'll slide it up in front of the 15 possibly. I don't think it's clear. I think the 15 will be able to get by him here on the outside. I wonder. I don't know. Because that brings a whole new meaning to track state carrying over in ovals now. You would think once cars aren't driving on it, it should technically cool down. Garen Turner, he is making the outside lane work. Kendall Kerr all over his back bumper. Nelson, he started on the pole, is falling back to third, trying to make his way around that 21 machine. And this is just old style Homestead racing. You know, there really isn't a faster line until tires start wearing out. You got the low line, which is shorter, but then you get the run with the outside line. I wish I had my drone cam, but I don't. Nelson just cannot figure out a way around the 21. In the meantime, Brugg, your outside pole sitter, he's falling back to 6th. Hollingsworth's up to 3rd. He's up a spot. Garen Turner's up 3 spots. And the only big down people down positions is Brugg and Nelson. But Nelson finally able to possibly clear that 21 machine. Still side by side going down the backstretch. Finally able to clear that 21. The 21 shuts the door and Jeff Hollingworth in the 97. Ooh. Let me pull that up too. Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. Right now it's saying track 10's 81. There's so many questions around this whole update. Like, people have yet to figure it out.
It's a difficult one. I will admit, the tracks that I've done so far.
Now, I will say this, with the whole aspect of trying to implement of searching for grip, I'm surprised 10 laps in, I have not really seen anyone try the middle line yet. Everyone's either going all the way to the wall or all the way down to the line. Brugg's making his way back up. He's back up to 4th. Was back in 6th not too long ago. Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned things because I completely forgot. But Tyler Merritt, actually, he did throw out some money to sponsor this race, so we'll go ahead and give him some screen time. Didn't really pick a name of the sponsor. He just wanted to help the league out, so we'll give him some screen time. Go on board here with him a little bit. Hopefully, don't smack the ball while we're on board. Yeah, and the craziest thing about this is, I know when I race, I listen to the broadcast. This creates a whole new advantage if you're able to watch the broadcast and listen to it while you race. Because if you're running, 7th, 8th, 9th, but you can't see the leaders, and you realize, oh, hey, they started moving up a lane, let me move up a lane. So I wonder if Hollingsworth's listening. You're like, let me try the middle out.
Curious on how with these cars and like a little bit smaller of a track, not too wide.
Oh, Alex Chase having issues. Saying he crashed. Oh, yeah, he sure did. Coming off of turn 3, I believe. Yep. Another great job locking it down. No damage on that car. One hell of a job keeping it out of the wall. But definitely going to cost him some time. I don't know if they changed the ARCA cars too much. I do know the trucks expanding next gen had quite a bit of changes to them. I do know one thing: they need to toughen these cars up because they made these cars like paper, and it's been not fun ever since they've done that.
Yeah, Xfinity's definitely good. Next gen, the one race I did was odd.
Coming up on a lap car, Nelson did not catch him at a good time. Actually lost a ton of momentum. Alex Chase coming to pit lane. Not sure what the fuel window is for these guys, but I would imagine they cannot make it halfway. So I think pit window, if they can make it that far, between 30 to 35. That's Hollingsworth, Kendall Kerr going at it. See them swapping position back and forth on my SDK relative. Oh, Candle Curse sliding right up in front of that 97 machine. Something to be very careful with these ARCA cars. All it takes is a small bump. We got a pass for the lead. Benjamin Nelson getting around Garen Turner on the inside. Garen going to try to get a run off the outside. He does. A little bit bobbled there by Nelson. Yeah. Yeah. Garen Turner, ever since he came in the league, he's been up there. Only reason I realized that, oh, he gets into the wall, is because he runs a very gorgeous Dodge Mopar scheme. And I can't remember where we were racing at. I'm trying to find the other driver. There was one race we did. There was someone with a Dodge. Oh, it was Loxton. That was the third guy. It was Nelson, Loxton, and Turner finished 1, 2, 3, and I was like Dodge top 3. While someone was talking crap about him in Discord or on not Discord stream. I mean, he ran that Mountain Dew scheme for a very long time. And then he switched to this one. Johnny Brugg going to try to slide up in front of Garen Turner. Garen Turner getting in the wall. I don't think that's going to go over very easily with that 15 machine. Kind of shoved him up there with nowhere to go. So that battle settled down. It looks like the battle for fourth also finally settled down. Alex Chase is just not having a race. Looping it yet again. Alex Chase is not having fun. Oh, did he drive off from this? He did. I don't look too bad. And speaking of Tyler, we were talking about him earlier. Tyler Merritt. Oh, we came to pit lane. What happened to Tyler? Or did he lose packets? No, he disconnected. What happened to Tyler? I didn't see him wreck or anything. It said he manually disconnected, which... That was weird. Usually with that, it's like an all F4, but I don't think he all F4'd right there. I wonder if... The only thing I can think of is maybe his PC took a crap? No, because I think that pack is... I don't know, that's interesting. I'll see if you respond to me on the Discord. But in the meantime, Nelson leading the way. Oh, ooh, a 1.1 second gap over Johnny Brugg. As let's take a look and ride around for Nelson for a couple laps, see what lines he is running, and we'll compare it to Brugg. You see Nelson running. Oh, Nelson actually getting loose there off the corner. So Nelson running that low line. Looks like Brugg was running middle. We'll go far chase. Actually, we'll go on board here with Brugg. We should be able to see both of them from here. Yeah, you see Nelson running that white line, Brugg running middle until about the center of 1 and 2, and he starts turning down a little bit. But he's actually lost 4/10 of a second since we went over to watch this battle. Actually, another battle we got brewing up is Hollingworth and Woods going at it. That is the battle for 5th. Oh, okay. So, Merritt sim crashed. Tommy, hold on a second. I got you here. So, you've been out racing pretty much as long as I have. Have you ever, and when I say this, I am talking about a long green flag run, seen it where it tells the leader, and only the leader, to pass the pace car? Oh, so that was something that happened throughout the week. Okay, that's the next thing I was about to ask. If it was it during the week? Racing at Dega. I don't advertise our league, but it was another league. Racing at Dega Saturday, no Sunday. Wreck happened in turn four. I'm coming out of turn four and told me to pass the pace car. I'm like, that is so weird. I've seen it tell me to pass the pace car as a leader on an immediate yellow flag, but never on a green flag run like that. Rick told the leader to pass the pace car, but nobody else.
Yep.
Yeah, that threw me off. Like, and it's funny because so when that happened, I was I mean, when you're racing for 2+ years, it's just muscle memory. Do what the black box tells you to do. So I was so thrown off. I was like, why am I lapping the whole field at Nega? That makes no sense. And I'm almost wondering how many times that happened during an official race. Could you imagine leading an official race and it's telling you to lap the whole field basically, and there's nothing you can do about it?
A little bit of it too is COD.
Oh, because of the you don't know what to do yet. So talking about the update because it is a pretty big update and it's going to affect how next season goes too. Um, are you on the tracks you've done? Have you had to relearn how to drive them, or is it just for you have to kind of relearn how to do a long run?
On the tracks that I have done, I definitely have to relearn them
Oh
because
damn! In
the
what
ones
car?
for Kansas next gen.
Oh, that's easy. Or not no more. I'm gonna take it.
It's easy.
No, I'm saying
Trying to
that
save
used to be easy.
yeah. Trying to save tires and just ride it fast is completely different now.
Dang. I'm kind of hoping. I usually don't say this word because I don't like saying it, but kind of hoping you yell because I'd love to get a couple of drivers in here and get their point of views on this. And probably bring in Ben, Brugg, and then maybe someone run a little bit further back like Wood or Hollingsworth.
Yes, we should maybe do some about how different tires affect the speed.
Like, and I'm just cycling through the field real quick, trying to see where everyone's running. And one thing I've noticed is just a couple laps watching Brugg. This dude's. I don't think I've seen him run the same line 2 laps in a row. He is constantly looking for that speed. He ran low last time 3 and 4. This time he's running high. Let's see what he does in 1 and 2. And he's going high in 1 and 2 this time. He's getting really loose while doing it too. Really loose off corner exit. Whoa! And I'll say that, Tommy. I don't know how much you have to drive these Gen 4s, but when you get loose like that, these things are probably the most difficult cars they've had to save.
Yeah, I have some loose cars, to be honest. But they are definitely not the easiest to drive.
No, they're not. Because the one thing that makes these so hard to drive, a lot of people don't understand, is you, especially on a long run on a track where it tightens up, you are so tempted to lean on that right rear, and you cannot do it in these cars. It is so tempting to use that throttle to help rotate you, especially on a short run. They're the only car that I've been able to do it with. Actually, I heard from a next gen race, Auto Club, that you can start doing it there too. In the next gens, use the right rear turn.
I have not heard that. Is that what say on occasion?
That's what Forens was saying when they raced there. Is they started to realize that they can use that throttle to turn to the next gens now. Oh, yeah, they're at Auto Club, right? Were they at Michigan? Where were they at Wednesday? Okay, thank you. But yeah, saw the crew chief for him, and he said it was weird because usually at Michigan, you don't want to do, you can't do that in those cars. And he said that was the way how he was getting around track. He was leaning on the right rear, and surprisingly enough, the tire wasn't even that bad. So, but yet again, all matters on fuel. I don't know what your fuel tank is in that league. Oh, here comes Brugg. Garen Turner coming to pit lane. So, yeah, 30, 35, right when I called it was coming to pit lane. Wood staying out. Mitchell Williams, we haven't talked to him all race. I think for pit cycle started, he was running sixth, I believe. Now moved up to fourth due to people pitting. I would not imagine Nelson staying out too much longer, though. And also, oh, he's going to come into pit lane. Wow. Oh, did he get in? Yeah, but that's 14 laps. No, he's coming in actually. Kendall Kerr staying up for the lead. Charles Wood's still staying out. Mitchell Williams in. Danny Williams in the 8 coming in the most unconventional way. Paul Creamy staying out. So another thing I forgot to mention. Didn't they also with this update try to put in the where it simulates rubber getting laid down as well? Or is that the next patch we're going to do?
That is also going to be the next patch.
Okay.
It's not 100% accurate right now, but that patch is going to fix that. But also, them tinker around trying to find a fast line down tracks.
Yeah, well, I mean, real quick, let me see where Brugg is in relation to Nelson. There's Brugg. Where's Nelson at? Nelson's coming out of turn 4. Where is my rear chase? There it is. And there you see Brugg back. He's the first car behind us. So Brugg, I think, gained a little bit of time. Not too much coming down pit lane. But what I'm trying to say is, as iRacers, that's what we've been wanting for the longest time, is to have the search for speed and multi-groove racing at most of the tracks. I mean, when I first started iRacing, I remember Charlotte was single groove. Now you can kind of get away with going high or low. But I mean, they've come a long way in 2 years. iRacing has.
Higher.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Could just think in officials and league races that have limited tires, how much that could change your strategy. Like, okay, I want to come in here 10 laps, especially in the next gen. Okay, I'm going to come in here 10 laps, get a little bit fresher tires put on. I can put that set of tire on later. Might be a little bit slower, but I won't be out of the race. That would be amazing. Or when you're running officials, here comes Kendall Kerr this time by. You're running officials, you accidentally put a set of tires on.
We've all done that.
Oh, more times than I can count. I think I've done that more than I accidentally unchecked or checked your fast repair. Especially when you're coming in to try to top off on fuel and you forget to do it on the pace lap. Yeah. Paul Crumey, is he saving? No way he makes it to lap 50. And to be honest, looking at these times, Thomas, I don't think saving would benefit him because Nelson's only 5.5 seconds back. No, he's not clutching in or anything, turning off. I think he's just hoping for a yellow.
Yeah, there may be something for a yellow, but honestly, probably be hoping for a yellow.
Yeah, and I mean I know the numbers aren't too high, but I cannot count how many races these guys will battle it out tooth and nail. And I'm like, how are they not wrecking? Like there is so much take, but there's just as much give. It's impressive. I mean, I think I've had more close finishes in this league than any other league official ever.
And also, just the raceman's IQ. I mean, everyone that races in NoCo is very, very intelligent. When it comes to races, they know when faster to go, when slower, let the faster car go.
Let's take a quick look at stint lengths, and there's the different pit strategy. You see Brugg, Turner, they both pitted on the same lap. Nelson pitted one lap afterwards. Hollingsworth tried to short pit it, but really didn't gain a lot of time from doing it. He was running fifth, I believe, so he did jump one spot. Mitchell Williams might be the biggest fall in position. He was running sixth for that cycle starter, now running eighth.
I think Hollingsworth had a time skip where he was really slow in pit green. I think he could use some time.
Yeah, and that also comes down to Homestead. Homestead, and I'm really going to get on off pit lane. Homestead is one of the more difficult mile and a half to come to pit lane on. I still feel bad for Merritt last weekend. That cracked me up. I can't believe Merritt didn't know he had to take the access road. But I get that mistake, though. That is the only oval we race at that you have to use the access road to enter pit lane on.
Yeah, I mean, Gateway is a track wide. Gateway is just grass,
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but once you enter that pit lane, that the access road, if you touch the grass, that's considered an unsafe pit entrance, right?
It I want to say yes, but it's kind of like a 50-50. I've had it do it, and I've also had it not do it, so I don't say no what it is.
We were talking about that. Kendall Kerr makes his way back into six. That's another guy that fell pretty far back under that pit cycle. He was running, I want to say, in fourth or fifth before he came to pit lane, but he also stayed out a little bit longer than everybody else did. Not the one thing about these cars is you can't really short pit or stay out too much longer. Like, you have to pit within that 1 to 2 lap cycle because by the time you come back out, the advantage is gone. Next gen, you can get away with short pitting by 3 4 laps. Gen 4s, there's no, it ain't happening.
Yeah, that's. I want to say next gens is still going to be the same, but honestly, with this new tire thing, it's definitely changing everyone's rules and on their strategy. In my opinion, I wouldn't say a strategy.
All I'm asking is, can we just leave the next gen road tires alone? I like the fact that I can go 40 laps and not pit for tires. Johnny Brugg, though, he's doing a pretty good job maintaining that gap. He's losing on Ben slowly but surely. Take a look. Oh, it's broken. I was going to take a look at last time by, but SDK don't want to work. We'll do it this way. We'll go to lap time history. And we'll go to that one. There we go. So Nelson has gained about... Oh, he gained a whole tenth that time by. And not really seeing a lot of people search for speed no more. What is track temp now? It's still at 81, so now I'm really confused.
When that road getting worse, tires coming out worse? I think it's just better tuning because right now the bottom of the tires keep high and low.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed about Brugg that last run is he was getting really loose, especially out of two. It didn't matter whether he was running low, middle, or high. That back end of that car was wanting to slide around a lot. Oh, oh, getting a little loose there. Let's actually go on board here, bro. I'm curious how he's handling this car. I need to learn how these guys put such little input into their steering wheel. Every time I go on board with Brugg and Nelson, they are barely turning that wheel.
A lot of times, I mean, I've dabbled around a little bit, lately with a couple different YouTube videos, kind of how to drive the corners, and a lot of people are saying, depending on what brake or possibly plumbing would go in to make it as smooth as possible.
And I think Brugg's back to searching for speed. He went from running low in 3 and 4 to now running high in 3 and 4. He's also getting a little bit of tight in the middle of turn 3 itself. He enters the corner fine, and then as he starts rolling through the corner center, it starts tightening it up. And he's almost hitting the wall.
I will say I have noticed in this group of Racing Speedway, he's very able to always
Yes.
dish you now as far as speed.
I don't even think it was really a tire thing because I was noticing on a super speedway. It wasn't like horrendous, but it just felt like the car drove way differently than I remember it driving on a super speedway, and that was the next gen. Oh, Broke's gonna have to check up here and lose a lot of time. Gonna lose about 3 to 4 tenths on this backstretch alone. Have to check up for Paul Karumi in that. Not Paul Karumi. That was Mitchell Williams or Danny Williams in the 8. Yeah, last time Biden Brugg lost almost half a second to Ben.
Now, were you surprised that Tyler hasn't tried to jump back into NTRL yet?
I would have just jumped back in to get a feel for how this new update is. Yeah, Brugg's just losing time now. 2 tenths that last time by. But I mean, Nelson, he went from his Thrustmaster. He's on a direct drive now, and we were talking about how big of a difference that made for him. Just being able to feel the track through your steering wheel and the pedals makes such a huge difference. It's a huge adjustment, but once you get used to it, it's a huge difference. And not only that, if you're able to turn your force feedback up, just having that force feedback pretty strong, where you feel more stable, you feel like you drive the car a little bit more deeper into the corners.
I feel like, in all honesty, Nelson could actually win a bunch if he was on an Atari controller.
Did you just say an Atari controller? Are you talking about? I
The little joystick.
I was like, are you talking about the joystick one?
Yeah, the one button on the end.
Dude, I seriously wonder if you could map that. I seriously wonder if you can go out there and map an Atari controller to do iRacing in.
I don't think you can map like a whole Atari like controller type or joystick like that. I do know that people that are impaired from like the waist down, they have something similar to that that they use for their throttle.
Really?
Yep, I one of my friends that I run in, one of the guys in there that he can't use the bottom half of the body, and that's what he uses.
So he uses like a joystick for hit throttle and brake.
Yeah, it's he has a steering wheel, of course, and
Uh
then
huh.
he uses the paddle shifters, and then he has a joystick that pushes forward or backwards, depends on throttle and brake.
So he's basically driving one handed. Because you'd have the hand have a hand on the. That's impressive. We're coming up here on lap 62. Oh, Nelson getting really loose there coming out of turn 3. Should start seeing people pit within the next 4 to 5 laps.
Yeah, it never seems to be these cars. It seems like once you get into a certain lap, the tire fall off is just incredible.
Oh, I wish I could look that up, but oh, I was pressing the wrong one. So the best time for Brugg and Nelson is a 32.6 and a 32.5. Last time by, I mean, that's a big fall off, but not as big as I'm used to seeing on a mile and a half in these cars. 34.0 and a 34.3. So about 2 seconds. Here comes Kendall Kerr. I'm possibly putting 3 wide on Hollingsworth. Lap car on the outside. This is the battle for 5th. These two been going at it all night long. They're going at it early on in the race. Kendall Kerr making his way back up from falling back a little bit. They're on the green flag pit stop, and he's going to be able to easily get around a 97. And they're actually catching Charles Woods, too, I believe, in 4th position. Last time by, Charles Woods running a 34.3. 3-4. Kendall Kerr 34.32. So Kendall Kerr slowly but surely moving up there on track. Actually, last time by, he was the second fastest on track. This time by, he was the fastest on track. So Kendall Kerr has got this long run figured out. If he was able to be a little bit closer to Ben, maybe put him in discussion, be able to get the race win here. But right now, Ben's 13 seconds ahead of Kerr.
And notice too, Kendall is a little bit wide and running too. The outrider overtaking him. Hopefully on line up with him is a little bit better decent speed right now.
Yeah, he's going to go high here to try to run a 50 of Charles Woods. Running that Kyle Larson line all the way up to the wall. Someone asked me one time, they're like, how do you run that line? I'm like, I don't know. You become comfortable with it. You can't be scared of the wall when you run that line. If you're scared of the wall, you're going to hit it.
That's false news.
That's because you're on controller.
Not all the time.
Most of the time.
So yeah, Kendall Kerr hitting the pedals really fast too.
Kendall Kerr can get around Charles Woods here. Kendall Kerr, if he can get a really good green flag pit stop here, surprised no one's pitted yet, he might be able to get possibly 3rd away from Garen Turner. And if you're Kendall, what you have to do, best way to catch Turner is you have to try to short pit him by 1 lap, 2 at most. And they're coming up on it because we pull up their stint length. Yeah, they're right there at it. Kendall. Oh, Nelson, the first one down pit lane. Brugg choosing to stay out. Garen Turner coming down pit lane. Kendall Kerr, if I'm Kendall, you gotta pit now if I was Kendall. He had the good long run car. Everyone coming down pit lane. Woods, Kerr, Brugg, the only 3 to stay out. Yeah, if I'm Kendall or Brugg, you gotta pit this time. If they don't pit this time, I think they're just hoping for a caution. No takers. And Nelson has such a big lead. He's still on the lead lap. He does it so dang good. Here comes Johnny Brugg. And one of the things I've learned coming to pit lane is you can't overthink it. Like you just gotta go. Don't think about it. Don't think about the speed. Just go. And do not lock dang brakes up. If you're watching this, you have not figured out how to come to pit lane. Once you start getting slowed down, you start getting near where you're going to be caught speeding. Pump the brakes. Do not lock them up. Pump them. You lock them up, you're just going to slide. Just like when you're driving on ice. If you start sliding on ice, you don't slam on the brakes. You pump them. That's freaking scary. That's scary. No. I don't know. Not on ice. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't think Johnny pitted 2 laps before Nelson and Ian was favored.
No, because he actually lost a ton of time to Nelson, and now Garen Turner's right there with Brugg. He went from being, I think, like 6 seconds back to 12. And Kendall Kerr lost a lot of time as well. Excuse me, lost a lot of time as well. And I will say this, I want to say Kendall pitted the same time as Nelson. Kendall, Garen did. He did. He pitted on the same lap, and he actually gained a little bit of time. He was about 13 and a half seconds, 14 seconds back, and now that gap's 12 to Nelson. Garen
I'm
those seems
curious on what
probably the same thing I'm thinking about. Please don't let them be a wreck. False, false. I had okay, it was an 8 second lead, but yeah, when someone wrecked a lap car wrecked and brought out a caution, that cost me a win. So yeah, it wasn't 11, it was 8, but I've had a pretty big lead and got screwed over by a caution.
yeah, but I mean, I feel like Nelson's one of those ones that he looks great. Like he looks to be aggressive, really fighting for it. He doesn't quit until he wins.
Yeah, and I keep trying to plant that seed in Nelson for him to go back to the Pro Series. I keep trying to plant that little seed in there so it can grow. I mean, cause he qualified for a Pro Series in 2019 on a Logitech wheel. I keep telling him, like, dude, now they got that Fanatec. I'm pretty dang sure you can do a lot better in that series.
I mean, Nelson he has
Does he still race on a Logitech? No way! What?
he has upgraded. He throws pedals though, so he has upgraded a little bit, but still running the Logitech.
Well, that was the biggest upgrade I had. When I went from I upgraded my pedals. I upgraded my pedal about a year and a half after I did my wheel. That was a bigger upgrade than the wheel was. That's great. He still races on a little Logitech wheel, huh? That's insane.
Yep, still races it. Still wins.
Which wheel does he use? An older one, or does he use one of the newer ones?
It's one of the older stock ones.
What? Get out of here. That's crazy.
So old enough that he has cable for his hands free wheels. So he has them
Oh
on
my
his
gosh. I'm gonna have to look up his rig now. That's crazy. That's wild. And actually, speaking of iRacing Pro Series and all that stuff, Ben was in a tournament last week, and from what I heard, I think he got screwed over just because it ended up being a popularity contest and he didn't get picked or something like that. I'll have to ask him about it when he gets in here.
Yeah, I think him, Brug were in that. I want to say Alex was in there as well. I don't know if he made that cut, but yeah, it's kind of a popularity contest for drivers
Yeah,
from what I've seen.
that's what I heard from Brug is it turned into a popularity contest, and I was like, that's stupid.
But I guess they also wanted to have teams when they're on teams, they're kind of going to play the favorites. So there's kind of a
That's why I like how the Cook Series does it. You qualify based off of raw speed. There's no favorite there. If you're not what is it? If you're not in the top 20 when the season ends, you have to requalify for it. I think that's how it works.
yeah. There were around 23 entries that qualified for the Cook Series. Contender Series is top 20 is good. The bottom 20 races again with the 20 for the Pro Series.
No, I was also about to ask. So, do they have to go back through the whole Road to Pro process, or are they in the Contender Series when they, or whatever it's called? Because I know Road to Pro, you have the Truck Series, you have to be positioned a certain number there, and then you go into the next round with the Xfinity cars, and then the top 20 from the Xfinity cars move on to the Coke Series.
Yeah, so
So they
what I know, it's the top 20 in Truck and 20 for Road to Pro,
and the bottom 20. Okay,
for the Contender Series.
from the Coke Series, and those 40 will race it out with the Xfinity cars to go for the Pro Series. Gotcha. Okay.
And then the top 20, it's the top 20 are kind of like whoever seats available. If you trip up at night, you can fall back into the Contender Series. I know there's been a couple pros that have done that of late. Um, I think Conti did it this year. I could be wrong.
And I'm looking at lap times. I don't know if Ben is saving or Brug has figured something out. Because he has closed that gap. It was 12 and a half seconds. And he has closed that gap to just about 10 seconds. In these last 5 laps, he has gained about a half a second, if not more. So unfortunately for Brug, he's running out of time, but he may have figured something out.
That's what I'm sensing. I don't think he's saving. I think he's just kind of riding the grid. Doesn't seem like he's pulling away from anyone as he's running straights.
Yeah, and Brug just gained another 8/100 there. Nelson's running low all the way around. Where is Brug running? Now under 10 seconds. 17 to go.
Brug looks like he's in the lead on lane bottom and 1 and 2.
Yeah, he's not running all the way in the bottom lane. He's running about a half lane up off that white line. But he's finding speed. He's still closing that gap. And this goes all back to what I was talking about having to pit within a certain time frame. He pitted 3 laps after Nelson. And those 3 laps caused it to go from a 6 second gap to 12 second gap. And there's just not enough race left for him to make up those extra 6 seconds he lost. In the meantime, Kendall Kerr making his way back to the field. He just got around Charles Wood for fifth. We take a look at some last laps. See Nelson running a 33.6. Brug with a 33.4. Getting really loose there off of turn 4. I might lose some time that lap. He will. Kendall Kerr 33.67. Turner, though, starting to struggle. Kendall Kerr and Garen Turner, they might have a decent battle for that final podium position. 14 to go. That gap is about a little over 2 seconds between those two. Yeah, Curry's gaining a ton of time. He just gained over half a second the last time by on Garen Turner. Brugge, though, starting to lose a little bit there here in Nelson. A gap now back over to 10 seconds. You gotta wonder how much of a difference those 3 laps are gonna make when Kendall Kerr can finally catch Garen Turner. And you mentioned battle for 5th starting to heat up. There's your battle for 5th. Hollingsworth and Woods in your picture. Right there, 97 and 50 going at it. It's funny, the running joke in this league is you're always racing for second when Ben's out there racing. They're not wrong. Brock. He had a. Did he not finish second in one of the races he sponsored? I thought he did. Or was that third he finished? I could have swore it was second. Okay, there we go. Nah, you know what track I'm really curious how it's going to work at? Bristol. Really? Wow. Wow. And we got 9 to go. The gap between Kerr and Garen is only a second now. Under a second now. Yeah, speaking of Rockingham, I just read something on Facebook. I think they got another $10 million approved for $10 more million to get that track ready to race at again. They were given $8 million a couple years ago, and I guess they were just giving another $10 million. Which you're super stoked. I only live an hour away from that dang track. Please let them start racing there again. I'll be at every damn race. So I always tell people this: the very last time the trucks raced there in 14 or 13, I actually went to that race, and that was some of the best racing I've seen. But Kendall Kerr, he's caught the 15 of Garen Turner. 7 to go this time by. My question is he going to be able to clear that 15? He hasn't been catching him at the blistering speed we were seeing earlier. We pull this up. I mean, he's still gaining about 3/10, but nothing like the 6/10 we saw a couple laps ago, about 6-7 laps ago. Oh, and Kendall Kerr gets into the wall going into turn 3. Six to go this time by. Nelson was an 11-second lead. You're currently watching your battle for 5th or 3rd between Kerr and Turner. That battle for 5th has kind of widened out a little bit. A little over a second now between those two. Okay, Garen Turner running all the way up against the wall there. Kendall Kerr all the way down to the line. if Garen's smart, he has to protect that high line. I think on these older tires, you do not want to let someone get to your outside to try to get around you. Make him work to the inside. Four to go. This time by Turner's going to get loose almost across the nose of Kerr. And Turner's pushing it. You got to wonder how much he's watching that black box. Slowly but surely watching that time take down and Kerr catch up. I just don't think Garen has anything to defend Kerr here. 3 to go when they cross the start-finish line. This time by out of 3 and 4. Kendall Kerr going to go low. Probably will pull even with him a corner exit. Turner with that outside line has a little bit of run down the backstretch. Got loose, so he's going to lose the momentum he had. And Kendall Kerr should be able to clear him pretty easily here. Coming out of turn 2. He will. Kendall Kerr will clear him. Garen Turner going to look for the crossover, though. Haven't seen Garen Turner run low yet. We'll see what he does on the low line if he chooses to go low. And that's such a hard adjustment to make. We see Garen Turner get really loose there off of turn 4. When you're running a certain line and you got to change your lineup to try to pass or defend your position, that is not an easy task to do on old tires, especially in these Gen 4 cars. And especially at a track like this. But Nelson has collected the white flag. Final lap here in season 26 for the No Toad Racing League. Benjamin Nelson coming in here to 20-point lead. We can officially say Benjamin Nelson will be your season 26 champion. Johnny Bruggle finished P2. 12 seconds behind the leader. And Kendall Kerr fighting his way back through the field more times than I can count. This man went all the way back to 6th or 7th twice and worked his way back up into the top 3. Kendall Kerr, hard fought P3 there for him. Garen Turner 4th, run out your top 5. It will be Charles Woods in that 50 machine. Now, I can't wait for these burnouts because I've been waiting for them to spin out. They updated the smoke, and I love it. Love it. I don't know what it looks like in a burnout, though. I know what it looks like when you're spinning out. Oh, he better do a dang burnout. We're going to fight. Nelson, I swear, I'm going to hurt you. You jerk. Oh. Oh. That's not LMC. That's freaking Ryan Blaney. Anyways, Ben, 9th win of the season and 12 races. So all but 3 Nelson won. Johnny Brugg won 2 of them. And what's up? No. Yes. 11 starts. This will be 12 starts. So yes. Johnny Brugg won 2, and then Loxton got that really good win at National Fairgrounds. So Nelson collecting the win, collecting the championship. We'll actually bring in our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Kendall Kerr. What is going on, Kendall? Oh, why does it freaking do that? It drags him out. You got a copy, Kendall? Actually, no, we had to go to a channel that wasn't Push to Talk because it was being goofy with there with Thomas.
10-4. I got you though.
But man, way to put on a race. I think you went to the back, or not really to the back, but outside the top five multiple times today. Still finished with that top three. I gotta ask you, man, do you kind of regret staying out a little bit longer on that last run, that last green flag run before the pit stop?
I think the one that killed me was the first run. I almost ran it dry. Was kind of just banking on a caution, but as Larry Mack says, if you follow the leader, you're just going to follow the leader, and that's especially true with 79-1 in this league. So I figured I'd try and do something different and hope to catch a caution, but didn't work out that way. But it was a fun race.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I mean, I'm gonna ask all the podium finishers. I gotta ask you, man, how big of a change or how big of an effect did that update have on you guys here tonight? Did you feel it at all? Were you looking for speed, or was it just kind of the same old Homestead?
Honestly, I was hoping to feel it a whole lot more. I was trying to drive all over the track, just seeing if there was anything in the middle. Typically, the top doesn't hang around quite as long as it did tonight when the cooler temperatures happen, which is I like running up top, so that was good for me. But yeah, honestly, I was hoping for a little bit more out of the update, and I figured this would be the perfect track to try it out with. Perfect car too.
Yeah, I figured this would be the best car track combo, to do right after that update. I mean, I know I saw a little bit more search around that I've seen here at Homestead. A couple guys were switching their lines up through the run, but you kind of on that last run kind of seemed set in stone on that bottom line. Did you find anything there during the rest of your run that made you think, okay, this is the line to run to catch people?
I've just known historically that as the racetrack cools off, the bottom seems to come in more here at Homestead, which, like I said earlier, I like running on the top more. But um, I was kind of able to find something in 3 and 4 where I was almost taking the second lane and then driving it up to the top on exit to use the banking. And I'm not sure if that helped or not because once you're out there kind of riding around by yourself, you don't have a rabbit to chase. But fortunately, at the end there, I had the 15 to try and run down and um, it made it a lot of fun. That was a good battle there at the end of the race.
Yeah, man, I thought at one point in time you might have blown it. You got into the wall there. I think coming into turn one. Lost a couple tenths, but then you gained that right back. You were chasing that 15 down in a hurry, and it worked out for you in the end. Got yourself a podium.
Yeah, well, there's a funny side story between me and Garen. You could say, I guess, long-term rivals. He was in a 1987 league with us way back when, and I know he had got into a few people and made some league guys mad, and I did the absolute crappiest thing that I've ever done to anybody on iRacing, and kicked him out in the last race, and I think it was the crappiest thing I've ever done. And so this is my formal apology to Garen, and I hope he's watching because I had a lot of fun racing him out there, and I know he wanted his third place just as much as I wanted it at the end. We were probably fighting like it was the win because there's some history there.
Yeah, and the Mopar guy in me was rooting for that other car, the 15. Just saying, I want to see the Mopar.
Yeah, Casey Kane paint scheme's beautiful, but no, it was fun running him clean, and he's always been fast. And I know it's been probably a year and a half at this point, but hopefully we can squash that because I just hate that that previous history happened, and had a lot of fun racing with him.
All right, man. Congrats on that P3, and then the season off on a high note. Looking forward to next season on what that schedule is going to look like, and really interested to see how these cars are going to handle as they kind of fix all the bugs and issues that they have. Because this isn't a perfect update. They had bugs and issues with it. And they'll fix it throughout the season. So I'm kind of really curious what's going to happen in the next season.
Yeah, for sure. Well, just want to say thank you to all the admins here at No Toad. I know I'm kind of more of a part-time guy, and but they do a great job with this league, and want to say thank you guys for the broadcast all season as well.
All right, man. Congrats on that P3.
Thank you.
All right, next let's bring in Rocket Man, Johnny Brugg. What is going on, Johnny?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, man. First and foremost, solid race out here tonight. Ask Kendall the same thing. I'm gonna ask you. Did you notice like any different driving style you had to do due to the update we had last week or this week? Last week, yeah, last week. Yeah,
it was like one of the top, like one of the top
I was about to say, I think out of everybody out there, I think I saw you more than anybody else constantly changing your line. You would run bottom one lap, run the top another, then you switch the middle. You were constantly switching. I don't know if you were searching for speed or what you were doing, but it looks like you were experiencing more as update than anybody else was out there. It seemed like.
Yeah, I felt I should take advantage of the little bit of space I had and kind of surf around and see what it felt like. And what I came away with again, it's all new. I could be totally wrong, but kind of felt like running too many laps on one line, it's gonna heat up your tires a certain way. Like if I stuck to the bottom, I felt like I was burning my right front off actually, and when I stuck to the top, I felt like I was gonna burn my right rear. So that's why I kept bouncing around and kind of like counteracted a little bit. I think that's maybe an effect from the update. I don't know, but it was definitely different today.
All right, man. Well, you came into the season defending series champ. You came up one spot short in the standings. Still solid season for you. Started off strong, and then Ben just went on an absolute tear, winning 9 of the 12 races we had this season. Kind of curious what next season's gonna hold for you guys. As I was telling Kendall, as they get as iRacing gets all the bugs and issues fixed with this update, I'm really curious because I think this car is the best car for this update.
Yeah, this is my favorite car on the series, hands down. Still is, I believe. We did poke around the idea of maybe running a different car for next season just to change it up. If we do that, we might consider ownership. But nothing's set in stone yet. We're gonna take a little extended break here in the off season for the holidays, and we'll get back racing after the new year. So yeah, it was a really fun season. I just want to thank everybody who came out and was a part of it. I want to thank you for putting on the broadcast, and yeah, congrats to Ben for winning the championship. And I will take second. It's a win in my book to even get 2 wins again to mid a season. So
Technically one, just saying.
forget it.
All right, man. Well, congrats on another podium finish. And Keith, you forgot your pink team's about 2 weeks overdue. Just saying.
No, but I really like that.
I know I do too. It's a really good color.
Have it on now. So
Do-
change it into something else, but that blue would definitely look nice.
All right, man. Congrats on the P2 in the standings and tonight.
Thank you.
All right, next let's bring in our champion, which I got a bone to pick. Man, why did you not do burnouts? I wanted to see the smoke because they updated the smoke.
Oh, I didn't know they updated the smoke.
Yes.
The reason I didn't do it is because I wanted to see the tire wear.
Oh, dang it.
It would have
Yeah.
worked though. I think.
Yeah, so if you ever get a chance, just go out there and screw around. Especially when you spin at high speed, there's a lot more of a cloud of smoke, and it looks really cool on broadcast. I was hoping to see 1 or 2 wrecks to show it off, but we didn't get none. And you didn't want to do a burnout.
That sounds like a FPS killer, but we'll see.
But man, you come to the season, dominate the season, winning 9 of 12 races, get that championship locked in. Um, First and foremost, congratulations on coming out here week in and week out and just putting on a show, taking these kids to class, showing them how it's done. And gotta ask you, like I asked Brooke and Kerr, man, did you notice any change with the update compared to when you've raced the Homestead in the past?
I mean, yeah, definitely the Homestead was more competitive, quicker, for sure. I think overall the inside was still better. Maybe we didn't have enough cars to keep the inside lineup as quickly as maybe 40 cars would, but um, it was still pretty dynamic. It felt I could use whichever line that was kind of competitive, but I noticed the overarching theme of like the new update so far for me is you can drive it a little harder, but you still can't step over the edge, but you can drive it more on the edge and still get away with it. At least that's what I found, and it was the same here. I was driving a little harder than I normally would, and really didn't fall off. I just needed to keep it from stepping out too much.
All right, man. Well, I'm really, like I told them, I'm really looking forward to see what next season holds. Hopefully, you guys stick to these cars. Because my opinion, I think these are the best cars for what they did for this update. So as we go to different tracks, I'm really curious to see how these cars do as they get all the bugs and all that stuff fixed.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna stick to it, but we'll see when the next season comes around.
All right, man. Well, congrats on getting the win here tonight, finishing off the season where you were at on the leaderboards. Technically, where you started the season off. Just saying. I'm gonna keep throwing that out there. I'm gonna keep throwing that out there till I can't no more. But really look forward to see what you guys can do next season. Hopefully, we can get some more newcomers in here and put on a better show for everyone watching.
Yeah, end of season participation is always a bit tough, but I think we'll get a few more new faces, get some competitive guys that really want to win. We'll get you a good show to put on.
Oh my lord! I just realized my desktop audio is muted. I hope that was not muted for the whole race. If it was, I'm so stupid. Wow. Oh my! I'm so done.
Well, hey, I don't know if that's better or worse than last weekend,
You
but
know what? I don't know. I plugged in my $150 mic I haven't messed with in months. So I don't know what it was. It's the same mic I've always used. I went back and
did you
watched.
hear it though?
I wanted to go throw my PC out the window when I heard it. Like
You heard,
I
I
was
was like,
pissed.
dude,
I was pissed. Like
I was like, what is this? This does not sound like anything I've ever heard before.
no, and it's the same mic I've always used. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna plug in my expensive mic that I have that I don't ever really screw with because it's hypercast and it kind of just sits there and it's bright freaking colors, and I just it my ADHD always looks at the colors of the screen. But
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. Congrats on the win, and if I don't have the audio, I am so sorry. If y'all couldn't hear Tommy talk and hear the interviews, that was my bad. But we'll catch y'all next time.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm sorry if the audio was muted. I don't know when it got muted or why it got muted. If it was, I apologize. But that will conclude this season, season 26 for No Toad. Like you heard Johnny say, we're going on a holiday break. I would imagine we'll be back racing probably sometime in February. So keep an eye on YouTube for any announcements. I'm pretty sure Gary would make an announcement on Facebook if he has one. In the meantime, before we leave, like always, Merry Christmas to y'all. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. And TJ, you're still in our thoughts and prayers. Leave that family, man.